Hello, welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name's Hussein. My hat's not on straight. I look like a bum when I have my hat like that. But anyway, I hope you're all having a good day and everything's good. And very eventful day today. Lots of stuff going on. Um, I guess maybe, shoot, we got three topics that we want to just touch on. Number one is the UFOs. Number two is camel urine. Number three is about America's jihad loving judges. And so we've got all of that going on today. And so let's see. Hello, Jack Ray. God bless you. God bless you, RBB. RBB 8401. Yes, God bless you guys. Good to have you here. And so yeah, there's a lot going on with this UFO thing. I'm not sure exactly. I think actually tomorrow is the day that Trump is going to release UFO stuff, and they had I guess in 2024 Congress released a UFO report, and they concluded that there were several sightings by military. Because why? Because they got thousands of reports from drunk hillbillies about UFOs. And they're always in a pickup truck out in the boonies, and they see a UFO and they get abducted. And uh, but these are actually military encounters with supposed UFOs. And what's interesting about the UFOs thing is that even the scientists, a lot of the scientists say that these UFOs are demonic. They say because there's nothing else that can move like these things move. And I don't know if you know Chuck Missler. Chuck Missler used to talk. Oh, Mike Winger was on this temper the past. Oh, did they talk? Oh, okay. I don't know if they talked about this, but Chuck Missler talked about the fact that these things would just move. They don't move in normal ways. Hey, Tiger, God bless you, man. And so there's a lot of different things going on with this, and what I did find interesting about this UFO thing is there's a preacher. His name is Perry Stone, and I like him. I really like him. I like his sermons and stuff. And he said that hello, Tiger. God bless you, babe. Tiger says hi. Ida says hi to you, Tiger. um, this is interesting. It says Christian pastors claim secret UFO briefings, while no other faith leaders report similar meetings. So they're all upset because the Christian pastors got the meeting. But anyway, supposedly this is what Perry Stone said, and there's a video, you can watch it too. It says, and the left-wing media, the U.S. Herald, the liberals are furious. They're like, how come you didn't invite the Muslims and the Buddhists and the atheists? And no, you just invite the Christians. And so, anyway, it says evangelical pastor Perry Stone publicly alleged that U.S. government representatives have quietly been engaging with Christian pastors in private meetings to prepare them for potential UFO or non-human intelligence disclosures. According to Stone, these gatherings involve warnings that future revelations could fundamentally challenge traditional beliefs about God, spiritual beings, and humanity's place in the universe. If accurate, the stakes are enormous, not only for religion, but for public trust, constitutional law, and national security. And uh, and these guys, these left-wing media guys, is all they care about is The central question is unavoidable. If such briefings are occurring, why do they appear to be limited, at least publicly, to Christian pastors? There have been no comparable public statements from Muslim imams, Jewish rabbis, Hindu leaders, Buddhist monks, or representatives of other world religions. Okay. So they're mad because Christians, that President Trump's group has met with Christian pastors to discuss this. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I think about all this, about the, or it's more noise than substance. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what I think. I think that UFOs are demonic. I think they're demons. The Bible talks about principalities and powers, dominions and might. And so, it's Jesus talked about them, and about, not about UFOs, about the demons, and about there was one guy who was talking about this principality, power, dominion, and might. 4 different categories there of spiritual beings. Principalities being like, the devil, and then dominions, probably like the Prince of Persia, the Prince of Babylon. The Bible identifies the Prince of Persia, identifies the Prince of Babylon, identifies the Prince of Egypt, of Greece, the Prince King of Greece, or the Prince of Greece, and so identifies particular demons that are like in charge of countries. And so, and we see, like with the situation with the, remember in Mark chapter 5 with the man who was possessed by the legion of demons? What was the demon's concern? What did they beg Jesus? They wanted to go into the pigs. Why? Because they didn't want to go out of the country. They wanted to stay in their place. Probably because in the demonic realm, you get punished if you don't stay in your place. And I don't know, but I mean, punished by stronger demons, so I don't know. But so anyway, so those are the UFO things. And it's interesting that they're talking to Christian pastors, concerned that this might shake people's faith. But I guess they did a research that about half of Americans believe in UFOs. About half of Americans believe in UFOs. And so I don't know. I don't know if they do. Do they believe they're from other planets? Do they believe that, I'm not sure what they believe about them. But, like I heard, U for unidentified, when they get some IFOs identified, when they get some they identified flying out, then I'll get interested. I think they've been identified and they're demons. Even I remember Chuck Missler used to talk about this. And to be honest, I was a little nervous when he started talking about it. But he said there was so much information about it. There were so many people who claimed to have seen these things that he felt it was important to talk about it. And he said that even like among the highest scientists said these things can only be demonic because of the way they move. They don't move like normal things. They move in, and I don't know what he meant by that. I believe they're flying things and I saw one. Yeah. So anyway, he has overcome, and so don't expect a third close encounter of the third kind. Like the movie, like Hollywood like to present. A lot of people. There was a guy named Van Doniken a couple of years ago. This about a century ago or so. Van Doniken. One thing he used to like to do is to take scripture and twist it to make it about UFOs. Like about the wheel within a wheel in Ezekiel. He used to say that the wheel within a wheel was a UFO, and the chariots You know, he said those are UFOs and stuff like that. A lot of, you know, that was a very big thing back in the 80s, in the 70s and 80s. This one Spielberg put out, The Close Encounter of the Third Kind, when Star Wars became real big, and Star Trek and all that space obsession and stuff like that. Oh yeah, is Van Doniken the one that wrote Chariot of the Gods? I think that was his book, this Chariots of the Gods, and he said that was about UFOs and stuff like that. He was off his rocker, yeah, of the poltergeist kind, yeah, very demonic. So yeah, so. Yeah, so anyway, so these here it is, Eric Van Doniken. Yeah, yeah, Close Encounter of the Poultry King. Yeah, I already ate, or else I'd be with you on that. So there was a guy actually who ate a Popeye's chicken, and then he used his phone to measure his blood pressure after eating 2 pieces of Popeye's chicken, and his blood sugar was like 93 or something, but he did it with his phone instead of with a needle, you know. So anyway, Tiger, is a halal KFC or just regular KFC? You know, I'm thinking of boycotting KFC because they've gone halal, because halal means it's been offered to Allah, and they killed the chickens in the direction of Mecca. And even though that means nothing, and like Paul says, all idols are nothing, but because they did it, for the conscience of the workers at KFC, who know that it's been offered to an idol, I won't eat at a halal KFC. Now, if America's KFCs go halal like Canada, I won't be going there anymore, because they've made a pact with the devil. So subdermal implants are now Bluetooth. Oh, okay. All right. These are new. Oh, Tiger. Oh, you have halal KFC too? Sorry about that, man. Yeah. I don't know if it's, I don't know, as a Christian, if we can, on the one hand, the Bible says eat whatever they put before you. But on the other hand, it says, but if the person who serves you tells you this was offered to an idol, or this is halal, then don't eat it, not for your sake, because it doesn't matter, an idol is nothing, but for their sake, for their conscience sake, don't eat it. So Paul, you know, gave a very detailed way to deal with halal Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yeah, I bet the colonel's turning in his grave because he was a Christian. So anyway, and today was the National Day of Prayer. Surprise, Mamdani wasn't there. Thank God. It's a Christian event, praying to the true God, not to his God. So remember WKRP, Thanksgiving turkeys dropped from a helicopter. Those are your. You know what? Since you brought up WKRP, okay. Now this isn't but it was said in prime time, so I can say it now. There was an episode of WKRP in Cincinnati, which is about a radio station called WKRP in Cincinnati, and I'm from the 70s too, so I remember this stuff, and 80s. It was Lonnie Anderson who was a star of it, and and during this episode there was a priest. Somehow came in, or a pastor or something, and so they had just, you know, little few things about God, you know, the way shows did back then, a few things about God, and people saying how, you know, made jokes about the 10 Commandments and stuff. But at one point, the manager of the station talks to Lonnie Anderson, and he says to her, he says, "Do you know anything about the Bible?" And Lonnie Anderson says, "I know a little bit." And he goes, "What is Genesis 2:28?" And she says, "The man and woman were naked and unashamed." I think that's the right 2:28. I think it's 2:28. It says the man and woman were naked and unashamed. That was the verse. So anyway, so sorry guys. If you're upset about that, please do blame Jack Ray, because he brought that. He's the one who brought up WKRP. So WKRP in Cincinnati. Yeah, that was a pretty funny show. I mean, I stopped watching TV after I got saved, pretty much. But anyway, all right. So that's kind of the UFO component. And tomorrow is going to be the day when they actually release. And I heard that they're just releasing like one video of this thing and a video of something. And so we don't know exactly what it is. But apparently they cared. They think it's important enough that they met with the pastors and said, be careful. People are going to have questions about this. So, and I bet you 100% that the left-wing atheistic media is going to blow this up. Okay, it's Genesis 2:25. Yeah, is going to blow this up, and just to attack Christians. They're not going to attack Islam. They're not going to attack Buddhism. They're not going to attack anything. Just Christians, because the media hates Christians. They hate Jesus. So expected that the internet is going to go berserk saying how this disproves the Bible and disproves the biblical belief for those who believe in creation. This has been the nail in the coffin of their faith and the stupid stuff like that. Expect it, you guys, because the left-wing media hates God, the true God, and they hate Jesus. They love Muhammad, but they hate Jesus. So expect it. But anyway, CNN, watch CNN, watch what they do, and please just gird yourself because they hate Christians at CNN. So, all right, let's and then might as well go into the third part of my live stream, which is the America's jihad loving judges. Because America is a country that, anyone can be here, you come and you can be great and you can do, fulfill all your desires, your dreams. Some people have, and I question their judgment. And one of the judgment is this guy right here. This guy right here, his name is Al-Naji. And this guy killed a Jew at a protest in Los Angeles. He killed him, and he's a Muslim, and I believe he's Palestinian. I'm not sure, but I know the name Al-Naji. And he pleaded guilty. He pleaded guilty. And he was given a year in prison for killing a Jew. He was given a year in prison for killing a Jew. America's judges. I think it may be a San Francisco judge. Try to digest that. This was today too, by the way. Killed a Jew at a protest. The court said it was an accident. It was an accident. He went to this thing. He saw the Jewish guy. I'm not sure exactly how they interacted, but they interacted, and he ended up killing him. And so California's liberal courts gave him a whole year in prison, you guys. A whole year in prison. America's jihadi judges. America's jihadi judges. This was today. But also today, this guy's in Phoenix, Arizona. His name is Marvin Jallo. He wanted to attack. He wanted to attack a Phoenix gay pride festival. I mean, I'm never going to support or defend the gay pride festival, but I will defend their right to live. And this guy apparently was attempting to attack a gay pride festival in Phoenix with drones. He wanted to cause a mass slaughter, supposedly, according to the news. And he was given 2 years in prison. He was given 2 years in prison 2 years, you guys. What do you think he's going to do when he comes out in 2 years? What do you think he's going to do when he comes out in 2 years? Is he, just wonder, is he going to be a changed man? Is he going to love America, love Americans after that? After 2 years? Marvin Jallo. What's going to happen after 2 years? Is he going to love America? Is he going to cherish human life? Is he going to think that everybody deserves to live? Everybody has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? I mean, what happens in 2 years in prison? Did people become better people? I don't know, but that's what Phoenix judge decided. 2 friggin' years in jail for planning a massacre. And then we have this guy, the joke of jokes. This is a Pakistani Muslim judge. And you all remember what happened to President Trump last week. It was last week, right? That somebody tried to shoot the president in the press brief, the press, that thing with the press that they do every year, where they go and they meet with the president, they make jokes about the president, and I forgot what it's called, but they were doing it at the Hilton or something over there in Washington, D.C. The guy went in and started shooting, shot one security guard, and he was shot. And the guy was from California. He's from Torrance, California. And anyway, this is the judge, and he was put in jail, by the way. He was caught, suspect, and he's put in jail. And when he went in front of this judge, Pakistani Muslim judge, this Pakistani Muslim judge apologized to the shooter. He apologized to the shooter for his treatment in jail. He apologized to the shooter for his treatment in jail. He's a Pakistani Muslim judge. He apologized to the shooter. What the heck? The guy was trying to shoot the president and his wife, and you apologize to him for the way he was treated in jail? Sicko. Disgusting. So, anyway, this is actually the judge. His name is Zariko or something like that. He apologized to the shooter. So, jihad-loving judges, man. Jihad-loving judges. They love their jihad. And they're going to use their authority to push jihad. And so anyway, so those are 3 American jihad-loving judges. Okay. So now we're going to go talk about our third topic, which is about camel urine. And you guys are all wondering, why talk about camel urine today? Why? Camel urine has been there forever. Camel urine has been a topic of great discussion. Well, I gotta give credit to Hatun Tash, because she's the one who first brought this out. But I have the video of this sheikh who elevated the importance of camel urine. Camel urine was always important. As I tell people so many times, I used to try to use camel urine. They told me that it would add luster to my hair, and I tried to use it to add luster to my hair, and look what happened. Yeah. So it's a bad joke. So anyway, but the camel urine situation has escalated significantly. How? Well, there's some sheikhs who have decided that if you don't believe the efficaciousness of camel urine, now, this is talking to Muslims now, only if you're Muslim, okay? If you don't believe in the efficaciousness of camel urine, you are an apostate. You need to be treated like an apostate, which means you need to be killed. Okay? Now, I'm considered an apostate, so I already got a death sentence on me. But this means now I got 2 death sentences on me, okay, because of this camel urine situation. So I feel it's very important that I talk about this, okay? And you know what, you guys, I didn't want to talk about this in front of Pinky, okay? Pinky starts having issues every time I talk about some animal-related thing, like the adulterous monkey, the adulterous birds, the shaheeds who become green birds, the Muhammad's donkey that committed suicide after he died. Pinky has issues whenever we talk about animal-related stuff. And so I didn't want to do this in front of Tiger, in front of Pinky, but I feel it's important, okay? So after hearing the camel beauty contest in Saudi Arabia and the goat beauty stream, it's hard. All right, well, let me show you the video first. Now there is a video where it has the English, but I don't know where that one is, but I did find the Arabic video where these guys are talking about this. So let me just play that for you. And okay.
ببول الابن لا أعترف بصحته لأن البول وصلى الله إليكم. يقول السائل: من قال بأن حديث العلاج ببول الابن لا أعترف بصحته لأن
There's people who talk about the hadith that describes the healing virtues of camel urine, and they don't agree that it is sahih.
البول وشربه ضد الفطرة السليمة.
And they're against the drinking of urine, of camel urine.
وإساءة للإسلام.
And it says that this is kind of like it hurts Islam.
ملحد.
The person who says this is an atheist.
هذا ملحد زنديق.
He is a hypocrite and an atheist.
يرد على الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم.
This is against the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him.
فلا يقبل قوله.
The person who says this is not accepting the words of the Prophet.
ويجب إنه يعامل معاملة المرتد.
He must be dealt with like an apostate.
عن دين الإسلام.
An enemy of Islam.
المرتد شر من الكافر.
An apostate is worse than an infidel.
الأصلي. ولذلك يقتل.
And because of that, he must be killed.
يقتل المرتد.
The apostate must be killed.
حدا لأنه متلاعب بالدين.
Because he is playing with religion.
فقتله من أجل حماية العقيدة.
It's killing them to protect the religion.
وصيانتها من التلاعب.
Protect it from people playing with it.
لذلك لا يصلح للبقاء.
So they cannot continue to exist. So if you question camel urine, you are a danger to society. You are a danger to society, and you should not be allowed to exist anymore. Just in case there's Arabic speakers, I want you to hear this.
أحسن الله إليكم. يقول السائل: من قال بأن حديث العلاج ببول الابن لا أعترف بصحته لأن البول وشربه ضد الفطرة السليمة وإساءة للإسلام.
هذا ملحد، هذا اللي يقول الكلام هذا ملحد زنديق، يرد على الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم، فلا يقبل قوله، ويجب أنه يعامل معاملة المرتد عن دين الإسلام. المرتد شر من الكافر الأصلي، ولذلك يقتل المرتد حدا، لأنه متلاعب بالدين، فقتله من أجل حماية العقيدة وصيانتها من التلاعب، لذلك لا يصلح للبقاء.
It's not ideal that this person continues to exist. And Tiger, I hope you're still here, just because I hate to break this to you. I hate to break this news to you, but this is from your Muslim scholars in South Africa. And so this is a Durus al-Sahiha al-Kibar al-Ulama. This is the true, authentic teachings of the big scholars. And here it says SA at the end, which is South Africa. So sorry, I'm so sorry, Tiger. So sorry. You know, we have our share here too, so you're not alone. Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so it's become a death penalty for questioning camel urine. And I just to show you, I thought, you think, what? Is this real? Do people really do this? And I just wanted to show you a video.
هل تعلم ان سم الحيه هو العلاج اللي تهون بمعدتك وبطنك وغيرك؟ ليش يوم يقول لك بول ناقه يا اخي حل عني يا رجال.
That's called a urine chug, by the way. If you ever wondered, that's called the urine chug, And so, excuse me. Yeah, and so the way that guy was drinking, it's that was that's a way to drink, So anyway, that was anyway, I just wanted to look at a couple things about urine, about camel urine, because it's been elevated, you guys. It's been elevated. First of all, I just want to tell you, there are places where you can buy camel urine. There are bottles. You can buy by the gallon if you need more. You guys, you can find it. If you're more of a Budweiser type, there's this. Bol al-Ba'ir. By the way, in Arabic, the word for urine, the Fisha word, there's two kinds of Arabic. There's the Arabic that people talk on the street, and then there's the Arabic the literary Arabic. The literary Arabic is called Fisha, which is kind of the upper class Arabic, the education type Arabic. And in the education type Arabic, urine is called bol. And the camel in the Quran is called ba'ir. Usually in the Arabic, the word camel is jamal. And so you'll see like this right here. Okay, this doesn't have Arabic writing on it. So apparently this is for non-Arabic people. But this one right here has the Arabic, it says bol il-ba'ir, and it says the urine, and I think it's 80% pure. Okay. And now this one says bol camel urine. And I do think, you guys, that this one is Zakir Naik related, because it's really good. Zakir Naik talks, and maybe we'll see the video where Zakir Naik actually talks about the benefits of camel urine. And so here's some of the things that he says camel urine is good for. It's good for germination. It's good for loss of hair, for hair loss. Yep, oh yeah, it's good for hair loss, you guys. Intensified germination. I don't know if I want to do that, but that you can do that with the camel urine. Smooth extension. Now, I think that this particular, you know what? If you look at on the side there, it looks like pictures of hair. I think this whole thing is to add luster to your hair. And I do think that there is a Zakir Naik connection to this. Zakir Naik is very fond of camel urine. He talks very fondly and zealously about camel urine. And let's see if there's some other. Okay, there's this right here, which here's like the big boxes of it. Okay, and there's I see it's right next to the hair. It's right next to that hair thing right there. So apparently this is a hair product. And I've heard Zakir Naik talk about this. It adds luster to your hair. But I kind of showed you that I tried that and it didn't work for me. So okay. Here's the hadith that talks about this. It says the climate in Medina did not suit some people, so the Prophet ordered them to follow his shepherd, his camels, and drink their milk and urine as a medicine. So they followed the shepherd, that is the camels, and drank their milk and urine until their bodies became healthy. Then they killed the shepherd and drove away the camels. And the news reached the Prophet, and the Prophet sent some people. He cut off their hands and feet, and their eyes were branded with heated pieces of iron. There's so much here. Muhammad was a very dramatic person, and so it starts out about camel urine, ends out with branded out eyes, Muhammad. And so that's what you get with Muhammad. And so here's another picture of a guy drinking, and so, apparently Faro, I don't know if that's a particular brand or what, but there's different kinds of different brands of camel urine. And Zakir Naik pointed out, and I thought this was an amazing point he made. So he said that of all the urines, Zakir Naik said this, you guys, of all the urines, camel urine is the healthiest, is the most beneficial urine. It says of all the urines. So apparently the scientists have made a study of all the urines, and of all the urines, camel urine is the most beneficial. That's what Zakir Naik said. And anyway, that's the beneficial. So, all right, I wanted to read you this just in case somebody hears this and says, "Oh, maybe camel urine is good." This is from the World Health Organization. And this is an article from the World Health Organization, from Newsweek. It's actually from Newsweek magazine, but it's from a study by the World Health Organization, just in case somebody's tempted to drink some camel urine. It says, we know it's tempting. This is Newsweek magazine, you guys. We know it's tempting. After all, who hasn't got the urge to sip a glass of chilled camel urine every now and then? But according to the World Health Organization, it can be deadly. You see, there's a bit of MERS situation. MERS, officially called Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus, leads to fevers, breathing problems, pneumonia, kidney failure, and other deadly complications. According to a news release, about 64 cases of the disease have been documented in South Korea, including 5 deaths. As you might have guessed, it is passed by camels. It is passed by camels. Okay. As a precaution, the World Health Organization is urging people to avoid drinking raw camel milk or camel urine. As disgusting as this sounds, some people in Muslim countries believe drinking camel urine will cure ailments. While the outbreak persists, the World Health Organization is advising people to follow basic common sense when it comes to hygiene, such as the general rule, stay away from camels. People should avoid close contact with animals, particularly camels, when visiting farms, markets, or barn areas where the virus is known to potentially be circulating. The World Health Organization advises general hygiene measures such as regular hand washing before touching animals and avoid contact with sick animals. Okay. So anyway, just to show you that the World Health Organization doesn't agree with Muhammad. Okay, doesn't agree with Muhammad. They're saying this thing can kill you. This thing can kill you. And you guys, in Egypt, I could easily show you videos in Egypt, Muslim Egypt. You know, I hate to say that because there are 10 million Christians in Egypt. Praise God. The biggest Christian community in the Middle East, the Coptic Christians, and they've withstood the Islamic abuses for thousands of years. But the in Egypt on television, there were doctors, medical professionals begging people stop drinking camel urine because people were going out these places thinking this is prophetic medicine. Okay, thinking this is prophetic medicine, and they were drinking it and getting sick and dying. Some of them were dying because this is so dangerous. Okay, and so anyway, but Muhammad was not a doctor. He was a great marriage counselor. You know, he was a great scientist. He was a great poet. He was a great astronomer, you know, but he was not a good doctor. Okay. And so please don't listen to his advice when it comes to camel urine. Okay. So anyway, our brother Truth Defender sent me a picture. So let me show it to you. He always sends stuff. And but you guys, if you're a Muslim, your situation is different, okay? Because this is a new situation for Muslims. Okay, this isn't for so much for infidels, but this is mostly for Christians now, that if you question the efficaciousness of camel urine, you are to be killed, according to these sheikhs, because you're questioning Muhammad's wisdom and his words, and so you are to be killed. So okay, so it just became the stakes have been raised greatly. The stakes have been raised greatly, and so the better thing to do is just become an apostate, because you're going to be treated like an apostate. You're going to be treated like an apostate. I encourage you to just become an apostate. Leave Islam like I did. You'll get a death penalty for that too. But see, Saudi authorities closed down shops selling traditional camel urine drinks after discovering the owner had been filling the bottles with his own bodily waste. Is there no FDA in Saudi Arabia? Is there no FDA in Saudi Arabia to make sure that it's camel urine? Is there no FDA in Saudi Arabia to make sure that camel urine is pure? With all the money they have, they can't hire quality control agency like the FDA to make sure that this is pure camel urine. So camel urine vendor filled bottles with his own bodily waste. Yeah, baby, look at this. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah, but yeah. My goodness. That's funny. So, all right, you guys. Well, you heard it here. So, if there are any Muslims who would like to come up, and I know this is a shameful thing, and a lot of you are saying, especially the Muslims, Steve, why are you talking about these things? Why are you embarrassing us? This is what's in your religion. And I want you to see so you can throw it away and come to the truth. So you could leave it and come to the truth. And you won't leave it until you see what's in it. And like I said, I haven't talked about camel urine in over a year. I mean, I think I've only talked about it once before in terms of having a program specifically for camel urine. But it's because the stakes have been raised. I mean, the stakes are much higher now than before, because these guys said there's a death penalty for questioning camel urine. Now, if you don't think that's ridiculous, then if you don't think that's ridiculous, kill somebody because they don't believe in camel urine, the effectiveness of camel urine. Does that sound like a good religion? Does that sound like something you want to entrust your whole life? Does that sound like a leader who you want to follow into eternity? These guys, you got to think about these two sheikhs. Okay, first of all, these are like some of the top sheikhs in South Africa, some of the top Islamic leaders in South Africa. And, they're not, I tell you the truth, I think they're just a couple of senile old men who are just talking to fill time. But you know what? What they're saying is not inconsistent with what Muhammad taught. What they're saying is not inconsistent with what Muhammad taught. The Quran commands, obey Allah and the Prophet. Obey Allah and obey the Prophet. The Quran says that several times. I think it's 6 times where it says that. Obey Allah and the Prophet. And this is what Muhammad did. This is his example, the Sunnah. And so, what those guys said actually is not 100% inconsistent with the teaching of Hadith and the teaching of the Quran. And so I just want to encourage any Muslims who are watching. I know you probably hate me, but I'm urging you, please look at what your religion teaches. Look at what your leaders are saying and doing. Please leave Islam today. Come to the Lord Jesus, like I did. I know most of you are innocent. You don't know this stuff. But you should know this stuff. Jesus said, search the books, find out what you believe in. Most Muslims don't do that. They don't read the Quran, they don't read the Hadith, they don't know what they believe. I know when I was a Muslim, I did it. I know my family, most of them never did. And this is what's in your books. Please leave Islam. This isn't, you don't deserve this. You, Muslim, don't deserve this. To have a death penalty for not believing the healing powers of urine. Give me a break. Leave Islam today. Come to the truth. In the Bible, Jesus healed people. He healed by the power of the Holy Spirit. And today, there's the power of the Holy Spirit to heal you. Today, there's the power of the Holy Spirit to heal you. And He loves you. And Jesus died for you. Muhammad didn't die for you. Muhammad wasn't even sure where he was going. He said, "Ma adri mada yaf'al bi aw bikum." I don't know what's going to happen to me or you. Jesus said, "I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go, I will return to take you to be with me." It's not just about being in a place, it's about being with Him. Jesus said to the man on the cross next to him, He said, "Truly, truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." Muhammad said, "I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm leading you." He says, "I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I'm leading you." That's what Muhammad said. "Ma adri mada yaf'al bi aw bikum." I don't know what's going to happen to me or you. If you follow me, I don't know what's going to happen to you. He's in hell. And if you follow Him, you will be there too. Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. Nobody comes to the Father but by me." The reason He could say that is He died on the cross, shed His blood to forgive our filthy sins so that we can be made righteous, to be able to be with Him. All right? Okay. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to play one of my songs. And this here has a lot of intensity. A lot of intensity today. Bol el-Ba'ir. Bol el-Ba'ir, if you want to learn how to say camel urine in Arabic. Bol el-Ba'ir. Okay, I think this is it here. All right, yeah. I'll play one of my songs for you. Here. Okay, so here. Oh, there's your friend, Mum Danny. Okay. Where is it? Do I have it? Oh, no, I go way down. I've seen my songs. Oh, you know what? I think I need to put my videos. I'll play one of my oldest songs. One of my oldest songs. Okay, this is a song that I actually wrote, but I dedicated it to Britney Spears when she was, after she cut her hair and she was going crazy. And so I wrote this song for her. I didn't write this song for her. I wrote the song long before, but I dedicated it to her.
I live here in the Gaza Strip. I know you're under a lot. The number one source of help we have is Allah, He that keeps thee by day, nor the moon friend who's having a hard time.
How do I begin the story I must tell of a vision of a maker, of a word and of a lake, of a river, of a well, of a hammer, of a nail, of the iron and the wood, of a stream of blood that flows, of a dawn and of a night, of a quaking in the night, as he breaks in through the soul, where he will wipe away your tears with his love, with his love, with his love. He will wipe away your tears with his love, with his love, with his love. Surrounded in the mire of a world that tries to take us places it can't go, but together with his hand and the promise of a land, of a walk and of a road, where he will wipe away your tears with his love, with his love, with his love. He will wipe away your tears with his love, with his love, with his love.
If you haven't done it, please do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my... يسوع ساعدني. يسوع ادخل قلبي. We love you, but much more importantly, he loves you. Have a great night. Bless you guys.